Hey everyone, welcome to the Scotch Malt Whisky Society of America. I'm Ben Diedrich and I'm bringing you a single cask whiskey review. Now, the whiskey before me is one that I'm really enjoying, as you can see. This bottle is about halfway empty. This is Cask 6.28. I'm raising it here so that you can see it. It's called Let's Go on an Adventure. If you're unfamiliar with the society and our naming system, if you will, all these whiskeys and the whiskeys behind me, prior to being bottled, are chosen through a very rigorous blind tasting process. By our expert panel in Edinburgh. After tasting the whiskeys, choosing the whiskeys that are ready to be bottled, the tasting panel will give it a rather interesting name. Let's Go on an Adventure is the name of this whiskey. The flavor profile and experience we have with the whiskey evidently inspired the panel to give it such a name. Why that's the case, I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm hoping we can get into this together and really formulate our own opinions. So let's see. The cask itself is categorized in one of 12 flavor profiles that we have. The light pink shades denotes that it's in the young and sprightly flavor profile. A lot of times when you pour cask strength whiskey, just straight off the bat, it is just so intense and the flavor is exploding. I like to just give it a little bit of airtime just to breathe and calm down. I'm not going to let it sit for 10-20 minutes at this point. The bottle has been opened already, but anyway, let's get into it. So this is a Speyside whiskey. Speyside is the largest region in Scotland in terms of volume of Scotch whiskey produced. This particular whiskey is 11 years old, and I'm going to hold this up again just so you can see it. 11 years old from an ex-bourbon hogshead, meaning this is American oak. This is a younger one, I would say. Good maturity, but 11 years old. It's still going to have a very lively character. And so the ABV alcohol content on this, mind you, these are all cask strength whiskeys. This is 58.1%. So, whoa, and right away, you can tell just nosing the glass. This is a very, very lively, very vibrant whiskey. Looking at the whiskey in the glass here, the color can tell us at times something, other times it can tell us nothing at all. It really depends on the whiskeys. All of our whiskeys are in fact naturally colored. They're just bottled straight from the cask. They haven't gone through any artificial coloring process. They're completely unfiltered and bottled at natural cask strength. This whiskey is a very, very pale straw color, sort of like a Sauvignon Blanc, I would say. Wow. Right away, very fruity, bit of raspberry for me. Mind you, my experience with this whiskey is going to be completely unique with what you might experience, but very bright, really clean to the nostrils, that alcohol, if you will. Very intense in the surface, but really, really fresh. A lot of maybe some strawberry rhubarb, some raspberry, very, very fruity. There's a hint of vanilla, but really I think that just is secondary to just the fruitiness of this whiskey. Whoa, okay, explosive. Oh wow. So it's explosive, but it's not as hot. It's very approachable for 58+%. Is it right? Yeah, 58.1%. Oh wow. Burst of flavor, that fruit really comes forward. I get a little bit of that orange zest, that citrus rind is in there in the background. Very, very fruity. Wow, but that is intense. This is the quintessential, I would say, aperitif type of whiskey, or midday. Maybe perhaps like late morning. Let's add a little bit of water. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and right away, yeah. There's more of the oakiness. It's much more malty. Oh, but just really, really elegant, complex aroma. Surprisingly complex for 11 years old. Finishes long, really long. But overall, I would say this is fantastic whiskey. It has the intensity of a young whiskey, but I think the complexity on the back end is really, really enjoyable for me. Every time I go with this, I find something different, which I kind of like that in the whiskey. The name, Let's Go on an Adventure. So what does that really mean? Is this an adventurous whiskey? You know, I think what this is, and this is just my own opinion based on my recent tasting experience, I think this is the perfect whiskey to enjoy late morning on a Saturday or Sunday. A wonderful weekend day in which you don't have a lot planned and you can just go out and enjoy a whiskey. Your palate at that time of day is generally fresher and more able to pick up complex aromas and flavors within the spirit. It's a great aperitif. It's something to start off your whiskey tasting experience. So if you're hosting a tasting at home, you have some friends coming over, you're likely to pour a few different whiskeys, this is a starting point. So it is a bit of a call to action. Let's go on an adventure. I quite like it, and I hope you do as well. If you've had a chance to try this whiskey for yourself, please drop us a comment below. If you have any questions, please do the same. Thanks for watching. We'll be doing a lot more of these, and Slàinte mhath.